Hey everyone, I'm just going to let you know a little bit about some of my R&D and things I do to help save you money. Sometimes there's problems with vehicles, but super rare with these, right? Just absolutely unbelievable how good all their sensors and all the working parts around the engine, including the engine itself. But I like to replace components. So I've done things like replace this MAF sensor to see if it made any difference, because it was old and it's done 300,000 kilometers, and guess what? Didn't make any difference. Of course, the MAP filter, the little filter under there, that's a good thing to do periodically, unless you know it's staying clean for obvious reasons. And as you can see here, I've got a new coolant temperature sensor. Now, I've never ever seen a problem with one of these on a 1kd, but I think it was about, I don't know, 60 or 70, 80 bucks. So what I do, I'm going to change. You can see this one's old and thrashed, right? Absolutely hammered, right? So I'm going to put a fresh one in there because I can. It was more about the O-ring, because I was chasing up the gaskets, or it's not an O-ring, it's a gasket, the copper gasket. Because when we do engine replacements with the new engines, of course we're putting in the old sensor, and I believe you can reuse that. And we've been doing that, never had a problem, but of course it's wise to put a new gasket. So one of the little upgrades we are doing, we're going to have these little gaskets in stock for when we do engines. But I've taken note of what the coolant temp sensor is saying for years with the old sensor. Now I'm going to put the new one in, see if it makes any difference, and then I'll be able to tell you guys, hey, guess what, it was 2 degrees out or whatever. And you know, but at the moment, do not change your coolant sensor. Now if you want to know the part number for the gasket, in case it is 90430-12221. I'll say it again, 90430-12221 is the number for that coolant sensor gasket. Let's crack that one out. I've just got the spanner there. I just, because look, you can get a socket on it if you got the right socket, but a lot of people aren't going to have that. It's a 19 mil. I just got in there, gently cracked it loose with the open ender, because it shouldn't be over tight anyway. I don't remember the torque spec for that one, and I won't be torque specking on this one either. I'm just going to go just nicely, just till that closes up the gap so the coolant doesn't leak out. It's an alloy head. It's a reasonably short thread. I'm going to guess something like 10 to 12 Newton meters. 8 probably might even be okay, but I'm going to guess around 10, 12 is probably the number. Hey, yes, someone look it up for me. Let's have a look in the comments. I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to do it nicely. And but I'd love to know what it actually says, and who's the quickest who can get in the comments first with the correct answer. And a few people answer to back up so people know that the information is correct. So I'm going to take a guess at, they don't normally do even numbers like 12 Newton meters. So I might go 13 Newton meters. There you go. It might be 15 or 17 or something like that, but I'm going to go 13 Newton meters on that one. Let's take a guess, see how we go. Get the new one in there, see what happens, eh? I haven't nipped it yet, but the new one, it looks good, doesn't it? People are going to want to know, how much coolant did you lose? Well, the engine's cold. I let the pressure out when it was cooling down, so there's no pressure, and then I let it cool down. So it's actually would have retraction, or whatever you want to call it, when it's sucking in because it's cooled down. So, because I let the pressure out while it was still warm, put the cap back on, sealed it up, so it's going to be pulling back inwards. So there was very little that came out, probably 20, 30 mil. Got the old one in the hand here, right? You can see there it is. As I said, probably nothing wrong with your gasket. No real reason to replace those gaskets, really. Just something that I'm looking into. It's R&D. It's R&T. You research and tell you, right? So probably nothing wrong with this sensor. That'll be a spare we'll have in stock here in the bag. And like I said, I'm looking at that O-ring. That, I keep calling it an O-ring, but it's a gasket. Bloody looks good condition to me. And it's not like it's thin and it's like a single use only type gasket. I'd say that's 100% safe to reuse. So we'll keep them in stock in case we have a damaged one. We'll probably just reuse them, or maybe replace them, or whatever we feel like on the day, right? Anyway, let's call that a video. Just a quick one, changing the coolant temperature sensor. See ya.